Russell Rockport, and this is Rowan. What's up, sunshine?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
You are struggling this morning. You have been up all night taking care of Chewbacca the Wookiee.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's like a mini velociraptor, is what he is.
That's a fitting name. I haven't even seen the little beast.
Oh my god, he is adorable, and it's the only thing that is saving his life.
If it loves you, it certainly is a little beast.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But here's the thing: we're not gonna waste any time today. We're not gonna. You and I have sat down. We've talked about it. We've made a decision, and the decision was this: we kind of teased something out there. We kind of threw something out there. It's something that we've had for a while. We weren't sure when we were going to put it out, but since we got the Patreon account going and it allows us to do certain things that we couldn't do before, we decided there is not a better time to read the most intense, awesome email we have ever had. We teased it last week on our podcast last week that we had it. We've decided let's just go ahead and do it.
Do you want me to read it?
I'm certainly not going to read it.
Well, okay. This person, what's his name? Sam. He writes in one big, giant paragraph. And his sentence structure and syntax makes my eyes bleed. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this.
Real quick, Sam. I've actually read this email because Rowan forced me to. I don't like to read them in advance because I like to have a natural reaction. But Sam, I got to tell you, you're the man. You're the man, brother.
Oh my god. Oh my
By the way, let me set this up. This is like an action movie. You will go through every emotion as a man. I don't know how Rowan and the females feel about it, but you will go through laughter. You will go through happiness. You will go through sadness. You will go through pain. You will go through everything you could possibly imagine with this email. I had to actually stop reading a few times because I was like, oh my God. You ready?
As a female, I'm going to speak for all females. We have a collective eye roll and temple rub while we read this. All right. Hi, you two. Love the show. My name is Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
My name is Sam. That sounds like, the beginning of someone who's special needs. My name is Sam.
By the way, his name is not Sam. He does clarify that in the end. But go ahead.
Well, why are you ruining it? Why are you doing that? You need to just keep your mouth shut over there. Okay. All right, my name is Sam. I am a 32. You're way too giddy about this.
There is a reason why I don't read these before. There's a reason.
Yeah, you need to take it down like 4 or 5 notches at least over there. All right. I'm a 32-year-old man with what I thought was an uncontrollable sexual desire. I knew this woman from a coffee shop in my local hometown city. Hometown city is redundant, Sam. She was very cute, 22 to 23 years old, but a little shy. She had a sweet little smile, and every time I looked at her, I felt the sun shining from her eyes. Oh my God, I may throw up a little bit. Okay. However, she is just not my speed. Why? For 2 reasons. One, I knew she would never put out. And second, period. If she did, I would break her. Oh my goodness. We think a lot of ourselves, don't we, Sam?
Yes, he does.
I noticed about 5 months after she started working there. What did you notice? Her smile grew. Oh, and the flirting from her began. Oh, she got over her shyness. Not to waste an opportunity to see what happens and maybe a chance to corrupt a sweet flower, I assumed the role model in me and flirted back. Role model? Role models don't flirt.
Role model.
Role models don't flirt, Sam. Role models are role models. Oh my God. Sam. It only took a few weeks of me allowing her to control the tempo. allowing her to control the tempo before numbers were exchanged. A few weeks? It took you a few weeks, Sam, to get her number? You slacker.
Now,
you be quiet. You don't go skipping ahead. Don't you skip ahead. I have to
never make me read an email prior again, ever.
I'm gonna put a leash on you, so you just sit still.
Just put a shock collar on me, zap me when I get out of line.
I could do that. I have one of those. Okay, I assumed the role model in me and flirted back. It only took a few weeks of me allowing her to control the tempo before numbers were exchanged. And we went out. I didn't think I'd get any, so I picked a greasy spoon on the outskirts of the neighboring metro city. Why the fuck did you have to take her to a greasy-ass dive in another fucking city? Is she Sasquatch? What is going on? I don't understand why you felt compelled to take her to a neighboring metro city. And who speaks like this? Sam, really, Sam, I'm going to need you to get a grip.
Because Sam clearly would rather spend money on fuel in his car that does put out for him by taking her to a cheap-ass restaurant on the other side of town than spend more money on food for a girl that he knew he wasn't going to get any with.
Oh, my God.
I love you, Sam.
Surprisingly, we had such a wonderful time. So much so that, let's call her Emma. Okay, let's. Emma went from the sweet young girl role to my little sister. Oh, my God. So now you want to fuck your little sister. Okay, Sam. Okay. You're starting to concern me a little bit more than you did in the beginning. Okay.
It sounds to me like Sam is completely at this point given up on getting some.
He's conflicted in many ways. For the first time in my life, I was totally okay with being in the friendship zone. Okay, this is after weeks. This is after weeks of flirting, finally getting her number, taking her out on a date to a greasy spoon in another city. Okay, so now he's in the friend zone, probably because he waited weeks to get her number and flirted with her incessantly, then took her to a fucking greasy spoon in another city. I would friend zone the motherfucker too. Okay. If he was lucky. Okay. Okay. I was ready to spring for a movie. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. He's a big spender.
Calm down.
Oh my God.
You're getting a little too excited.
Jesus. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. This novel, I'm only like on the first 4 lines. Okay. So, and this is like War and Peace. It's never ending. Every time I look at it, I see something else that just blows my mind. Okay. All right, where am I at? Let's call her Emma. Emma went from the sweet young girl to my little sister.
Let's read it so that our listeners can understand, because you get so animated with this too much.
For the first time in my life, I was totally okay with being in the friendship zone. I was ready to spring for a movie. And just when I was about to offer, she asked, "Would you like to come back to my place for a drink and some Netflix?" Oh, she wanted Netflix and chill with her big brother? Okay, I'm good.
Now,
okay.
And keep in mind, she never called him the big brother. He called her the little sister.
All right. So, I thought to myself, you have to be fucking kidding me. Amazingly, Sam, that's what I'm thinking too. Okay. Taking off my game a bit, all I could muster was sure. I imagine Sam going double fist pistols, double handguns, ching ching, sure thing, maybe a little wink thrown in there, sure. Oh, okay. Wanting to smack myself in the face for being overexcited. Really? Okay. She then excused herself to the restroom. The vibe instantly changes. Fuck the little sister routine. This bitch is about to get owned. As she walked towards the restroom, I gazed at her perfect ass. I never noticed just how amazing it was until this very moment. After weeks of flirting, you never looked at her ass? Sam. Okay. Oh my God. I mean, I have looked, but never thinking I'd see it naked. Is it naked now, Sam? No, she's walking to the fucking bathroom in this greasy spoon on the outskirts of a metro city that is not your own. Okay. Jesus. I just didn't let my mind go there. But now I'm seeing it swing back and forth like a little bell. Like a bell? Okay. Oh my God, I'm dying. I'm noticing her sweet little 120 frame. She weighs 120 pounds. Now you've weighed her? Completely fit. Her luscious, beautiful, long blonde hair. Damn, Sam. How did you not see this before? He damn Sam's himself. You have been delivered an angel. Okay. And tonight, you'll be tearing off that halo when we get back to her place. It was a cozy little two-bedroom home. I thought to myself, how a barista owns such a place. I know it's small, but it's still a house. What? What? So's a doghouse.
He must live in like one of those really wealthy parts of the country where it's really hard to get a house. He must. Because where I'm at, baristas can own houses.
Or he's homeless. I don't know. We sat on her couch and she mixed a few drinks. The more we talked, the more I began to think she was a bit older than I thought. You did not discern any of this shit in the several weeks it took. Oh my God. What were you doing in this 3 weeks? Or however many weeks it's been?
I'm telling you, 32 years old, guys think one of two ways. I'm getting some or I'm not getting some. If I'm getting some, I'm paying attention. If I'm not getting some, I don't pay that close attention. I can tell you, I'm a man. I know how we think.
I didn't want to ask and not kill the vibes. Ask to not kill the vibes. I don't know what that means. He didn't want to ask how old she was. But she may be older than even me. Well, she looks damn good for her age then. Okay. This is classic. She rose out of the blue and kissed me on the cheek. Rose from where? I would like to know where she was rising from and what cheek she kissed. Was it the floor she kissed you on the ass? Was it from the sofa she kissed you on the cheek, on the face? I don't know. Where was she rising from? Was it a pit from hell? I don't know. No one knows. He doesn't go into detail. I smiled at her, and as she was about to do it again, she was going to kiss him twice on the cheek. I turned my head towards her and kissed her on the lips. Ooh, the gloves came off.
Sam.
Ooh, he is a slick Willie right there.
Let me write these techniques down so I could use them next.
That he is a smooth operator, let me tell ya. How long was the drive from the greasy spoon on the outskirts of the neighboring town back to her place? What did they talk about? I don't know. He doesn't go into any of that. Okay. This is fucking hilarious. This is gold. I smiled at her, and she's about to do that. I turned my head towards her and kissed her on the lips. The gloves came off, and we made out on the couch for a half hour or so. Then she motioned me to her bedroom. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. We got up and walked towards it, kissing the entire way. How the fuck do you do that? You just like crab walk to the bedroom while you're kissing each other? I mean, this is, I need a little bit more detail because my visuals in my brain are going off the charts. I'm not going to lie.
Let me tell you how I would do it, Sam. I would lift her up. I would hold her on my hips while I was kissing. I'm just saying, that's how I would do it. I don't know what you guys are doing. Obviously, I don't know if you got her down in the cartwheel position and she's walking on her hands. I don't know if she's carrying you. I don't get it either, but hey, you know what? Let's finish.
Whew, okay. Once entering the room, we fell on the bed. Well, of course you did because you fucking tripped because you can't crab walk and kiss at the same time. Okay. She already had her top off. How the fuck did she do that? I don't know how, he says.
had her top off on the
She's a
couch
fucking
and he didn't
magician.
recognize.
She's David Copperfield. She's a fucking
She might have
magician.
taken her top off as soon as they got through the house, but he was in such a daze he didn't notice.
Oh my god. I think I would have remembered that coming off. That's what he says.
Oh,
And she
Lord.
must not have had a bra on. Ooh. She had very
You
perky,
think?
she had very perky, small B-size cups. How do you know they were B-size? And B-size aren't necessarily small. They're just not as large as, say, C's or D's. These things defied gravity. All right. And were more beautiful than her smile. Oh, your smile is beautiful, but your tits are even better. Bring those over here. I gotta see that.
This-
I want those in my face.
Shine is coming out of her chest.
I want to just go in the middle of those titties. Because that is so much more beautiful than your smile on your lovely face.
I love Sam.
We rolled around for a while on our bed. Were you wrestling? What are we doing? I mean, undressing each other.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Undressing each other until both of us were completely naked. That is so hot. I know that when I am ready to get amorous, that I crab walk kissing into my bed, fall on it, and then roll around on my bed, undressing my partner the whole time. And it takes a long time to do that. Okay. Defy gravity, blah, 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 blah. Oh, then she stopped and said, hey, I've always had a little fantasy of handcuffing a guy like you to my bed and totally having my way with him. Well, Sam, it's been nice knowing you.
Yeah.
She then grabbed my hand and placed it on her sexy, perfect ass. Okay. Would you play
That's
along?
what you call forcing your way without you knowing you're being forced.
Clearly, this girl was not who I thought she was. I was reluctant because I've never been tied up before. You know, you kind of sound like an escaped convict, so I'm kind of suspicious. She then pulled...
Didn't he start this by saying he had a healthy sex life or something like that? Or
uncontrollable sexual desire.
So, yes, and he's never been tied up before. Okay, Sam, I think you're a little delusional here.
I have another word for that. I call it bullshit. He's full of shit. Okay. She then pulled the pouty lip gimmick. Please. Again, she said. She's stuttering now? She's stuttering? Sounds like this bitch knows what she's doing. She's not stuttering. You're stuttering. In my mind, I said, sure, but I'm sure it came out, fuck yes, you can. Okay. I should have been suspicious. First clue. When she opened a drawer under her bed and removed police-issued cuffs. Well, now.
How did you know they were police-issued?
This is why I'm thinking he may have been incarcerated in the past. He's had some issues. He knows police-issued cuffs. Not the ones you get at a fair or carnival. He explains that these are not the ones you get at a fair or carnival. Okay, so he's very clear about the cuffs. As she was cuffing me, she was so excited. I bet she was.
Yeah.
Thank you for making a fantasy come true. Okay, so if she already had these handcuffs, I'm pretty sure she's made this fantasy come true multiple times. Especially since they were so conveniently located. In such a sweet and innocent voice. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. She's playing you like a fucking fiddle. I should have objected to the ankle cuffs. Oh my God, Sam. I can't. But right after she handcuffed me, she started licking my balls for a good 5 minutes. And after that, it was near impossible to say no to anything. Yes, you were being forced.
I can absolutely relate to that.
Oh my God. Once the final leg was cuffed, She pulled some straps to tighten me to the bed. Oh, yeah, she's never done this before. Never.
This is just a fantasy.
Yeah.
You're making it come true for the first time.
This is something she just saw on Pornhub and decided to try. So she slowed her movements down and just stared at me, smiling. ... Naked. ... At the foot of the bed. ... Even though she looked unbelievably hot, fear started to come over me. Oh, it's a little late for that.
Yeah.
You should have about that shit when you saw the police issued handcuffs.
Yeah, that didn't bother you. The police issued handcuffs under her bed and very convenient. That didn't bother you. But once you're tied up and totally restrained and you can't move, and she's smiling at you very slowly at the foot of the bed, that is what scared you.
That's some serial killery shit right there. That's some Stephen King, the book Misery kind of shit.
Weird. I actually thought of that right when I read this part of the story.
Are you serious? Okay.
Is this Misery?
Maybe we should establish a safe word. In a deep growl. Holy shit, she's turned into Chewbacca. She said, "It's too late for that, bitch." You should have thought about that an hour ago. That's my girl. That's my girl. She then turned around and left the room. Oh, God. I could not help to take a quick glance at her perfect naked ass as she left. Sam! You're tied up. She's naked. She's going to get the sledgehammer to hobble you, and you're going to stare at her ass. Oh, my God. As she was in the other room.
Here's my guess, and it's just a guess. Sam is not getting as much as he's saying he's getting. Because if you're sitting there in fear, tied up, not that I would know this, I cannot confirm nor deny this, and all of a sudden someone walks out of the room, you're not just going to check out the ass. You're going to try to figure out a way to get out of this, unless you're not getting any.
She turned around and left the room. I could not help take a quick glance at her perfect naked ass as she left. As she was in the other room, I could hear a few different women voices. Holy fuck, she's schizophrenic. She's got all her personalities are now out. I was thinking she has a female roommate that was going to join in. I prayed that she was not hideous. Though two women, one hot, the other hideous. What the fuck? Then though two women, one hot, the other hideous. I'm okay with that. The longer I stayed cuffed up, what the fuck? The more fear came over me. Sam, what are you trying to tell me here? I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me. Then suddenly the door slams open. Holy shit. Maybe kicked. Oh my God. And in came Emma, draped in leather, a hat, mask, vest, chaps, boots, and a whip used to whip horses. Holy fucking shit. She whacked my leg with the whip. It had a slight sting to it. I guess it did. It made no noise. You didn't feel that, she said, and swung it as hard as she could. That escalated quickly. This one ripped a sound that was like thunder after a bright lightning flash, and it fucking hurt. I screamed, "Holy fuck, that hurt! What are you doing?" She jumped on top of me. "Don't worry, my little bitch, I'll play easy," and scream as loud as you like. The neighbors have gotten used to it. Oh, but she was trying to make a fantasy come true. "Don't worry, you little bitch, I'll play easy," and scream as loud as you like. The neighbors have gotten used to it. They stopped calling the cops long ago. What? You said that this has been a fantasy of yours that I could make come true. Yes, she responded. How could it be a lifelong fantasy when you have done this with others? I continued. She said, I never said that. She replied, I said it was a fantasy of mine to tie a guy like you up. I never said, oh God. I never said you would be my first or even in the top 20 or so. Oh, she's got a hit list. She's got the greatest. Then she smiled and smacked my chest with the wand. Not as hard, but it left a mark. What do you mean, a guy like me? Sam is starting to sound a little concerned. What kind of
Sam sounds really concerned.
what kind of guy do you consider me? He's rethinking his entire life choices. I fear as I looked at her. The smile was the same, but instead of seeing sunshine, I saw the flames of hell. I started to complain again. She put her finger on my lips. Shh, shh, don't make me get nasty. I cried through it. Oh, wait, no, I cried because we needed a safe word. She agreed and asked if she could pick it. I said, sure, anything you like. Then she opened the drawer again. Oh, fuck. She pulled out a device that looked like a ball with an elastic band through it. Oh, God, she's put a ball gag. Then she put the ball in my mouth and wrapped the band around my head and said the safe word is fuck. Now make sure you say it clearly. That's going to be difficult with a ball gag, I can tell you. And all I knew at this point that I was fucked, because with a tennis ball in your mouth, you cannot say fuck, let alone clearly. She whipped me for about a half hour, as well as having her way with me sometimes. I fought, and sometimes I enjoyed it. The entire time, I was as hard as a rock. No pun intended. Oh, my God.
No pun intended.
Yeah, Rock, I guess he's talking about your name.
Oh,
my God.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I was wondering about that, and only you would figure that out, I guess. I was like, no pun intended. What the fuck is he talking about?
Once she knew I was starting to really enjoy it, she became evil again. She grabbed my throbbing hard cock, pulled it up, and whacked me lightly on the butt. Will she just pick you up by your dick? Like, oh shit, I can't. Hold on.
I can't laugh at that. There is a electric jolt that just went up my spine.
Oh my God.
I've read this before, and I'm still feeling it.
She saw my reaction, laughed, and did it again. Holy shit, and again. I looked at her bed to see if I could break it free and possibly escape when I felt her squeeze the top of my ball sack, bringing my balls to the surface of my skin. Oh, this is getting better. I pleaded with her. Hurting. Oh, no, this is not. This is good for me. Using whatever facial expression I could. What the fuck? I pleaded with her.
I missed that when I was reading it.
I pleaded with her using whatever facial expression I could. I can picture it now. Oh, my God.
No, please don't. Please. But it sounded like this.
The ball sack is one thing, but the testicle is an entire other. Fortunately, she just started licking it. It was a nice break when she was done. She gave it a little whack with the whip. Fuck me, you bitch! Hurt like hell. I laid in intense pain. I did notice that she went back to the drawer because a few minutes later, I looked up
in the
and
drawer digging around. You know what? If it was truly a few minutes, this psycho bitch is just intentionally keeping him in suspense as she's working around the drawer trying to figure out what satanic device she's going to pull out.
I have a feeling that his timeline is a little fucked up because he was in so much pain and fear that it seems like it was so much longer than it actually was.
Yes.
I looked up and she was holding a vibrating vibrator, and a massive dildo. Oh, man, 12 inches or longer.
Oh, my God.
Guess what I'm going to do with these, she laughed. I freaked out, yanking and pulling the cuffs, trying with all my might to get free, screaming as loud as I could through the muzzle. I couldn't even come close to freeing myself. I calmed down after a few minutes. I could hear her moaning. She was using them on herself in a perfect view where I could watch. See, so he was worried about himself, screaming and trying to get out of it, not even looking to see what she was doing, had his eyes closed. Silly boy, she said.
Just fighting away, trying to get out. And by the time he realized he was out of energy, he couldn't fight anymore, he calmed down long enough to see this happening. Yeah.
You didn't think I'd use my two favorite toys on you, did you? After getting off a few times, she continued. Now it's time for me to use my new favorite toy. She crawled over and wrapped her lips around my abused cock, which had gone from throbbing hard to limp, soft, back and forth all night. I proceeded to give me pleasure like never before. She started to uncuff me as we made passionate love all night. It doesn't. This is Sam. She had a plan, and proceeded to
She
give me pleasure like never before.
clearly,
Oh,
he clearly has never gone through anything like this, and clearly when the pain ended and all the torture ended, he looked back at it and thought, that was a pretty good night. That's the only thing I could think of. I've never gone through anything like this, so I wouldn't know.
she slowly. She slowly became the sunshine again. Being innocent never did return. She's the sunshine. She is the sun, and he is what? I'm not sure. Oh, it's so crazy how the emotions I felt that night went through a gambit. Turns out Emma, not her real name, as Sam is also not mine. Using these names to protect, you two are becoming known around here.
Using these names to protect the guilty, more like.
You two are becoming known around here. I don't know what that means. Does that mean us, or why would they want to protect? Why would he want to protect us? I don't know. All right, Sam, I'm gonna leave these motives to you. I'm not going to try and analyze your motives there. Okay. Emma owned the shop.
I think what he's trying to say is that people are listening to our show, maybe, and that he didn't want to use their real names because he's still trying to keep this quiet. I don't know why he'd want to keep it quiet from his local. Well, maybe I do now. Think about it. Maybe I don't want to know that I was treated like a little bitch all night long.
That's true too.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
All right. Emma owned the shop. She took it over from her mom. Okay, let's mention her mom in the middle of a big sex story. We are still great friends. We're great friends. Great friends with Emma. She and still hook up from time to time without tie-ups. However, no safe words and the muzzle is still used. Ooh. There was one other time I allowed her to put the cuffs on both hands. That night ended up with me running outside her house buck naked and muzzled, and she promised to be nice in order for me to come back in. But that's a different story for a different day. All in all, we have a great friendship with benefits. There have been a few times she has told me that she has a new date this evening. I say, poor guy, and we both chuckle. I hope you both like this. And the moral is never judge a book by its cover. Sam. Sam, this is amazing. This is an amazing story. There's so much to unpack here. So much to unpack here. I could unpack this for months, Sam. Months.
This may go down as one of the greatest. I mean, here's I think the funniest part, the part that got me the most, is clearly he hated it while it was happening. And then afterward, he absolutely loved it because he continued to go back, maybe not as heavy duty stuff, but there was one time he was handcuffed, buck naked in her front yard. And she's probably going, Sam, get back in here. And he's like, no, you got to be nice. He doesn't care that he's out in her front yard, buck naked, handcuffed with a muzzle in his mouth.
Oh my God.
As long as she's nice. She clearly.
She owned him.
She's just not my speed. Yes, she is not his speed, but not in the way he was thinking.
Wow, he thought he was the big dog on the block, and he got owned.
He was nothing more. He thought he was the big dog on the block, but he was nothing more than a goldfish in a little freaking fishbowl.
Oh. He was meat for that dog. That's what he was.
I don't know about you, but as soon as he said she pulled out police-issued handcuffs, I knew he was about to get fucked. I knew his world, as we knew it, was over.
She planned this shit when he took her to a greasy dive on the outskirts of another city in order to go on a simple date. She planned this shit as revenge, and I don't blame her. It was awesome. Well done, Emma. kudos to you. I wish Emma would write in. This is hilarious.
I disagree. I disagree. I think this is just who Emma is. I think I think if you're going to get with Emma the very first time, no matter who you are, this is going to be the exact same experience for everybody the first time. I think this is just who Emma is.
Maybe, but I know that I personally, if I was planning on having sex with you and you're like treating me like some Quasimodo little sister, taking me out into some greasy dark dive, greasy spoon in another town, on the outskirts of another town, actually. Not even in the town properly, on the outskirts, some seedy dive. My ass would plan to abuse you in such ways. That violet wand. He said wand. I'm assuming violet wand. I would have shoved that violet wand straight up his ass and turned it on full blast.
He never said anything like that. I'm sure some of that stuff happened, but I think Sam might be worried. Now, just my thoughts. Might be worried that some of his friends might figure this story out and figure out who she is that listen to our podcast. And I think maybe he's like, okay, I'm going to skip that entire part out because I don't want to be hazed by my friends.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Sam.
The funny thing about it is I think maybe that was like turned up to 10 for Sam. Maybe it's like a 6 or a 7 for anyone else. But because Sam was such a, like what you said, being a cheapskate about this whole thing because he doesn't think he was getting any, she might have got pissed and turned it up to 10.
Oh, I'd have turned it up to 10.
I can guarantee this is Emma's moda. I guarantee it. I shouldn't say I guarantee it, but I do think, because they chuckle. He even said afterwards, when they were friends afterwards, and they talked about her new date, which is pretty intense. So
I picture him just chuckling nervously to go along with her. Just like, yeah, that's right, Emma. I agree. Yeah.
He's looking her up and down, not checking out her body to see if she's got a whip or something. And okay, maybe she's hiding it, so I'll just.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds really great. Yeah, that is exactly how I picture that. Oh my God, this is better than coffee.
The most intense email we have ever had in our lives. That concludes this episode of the Risky Business Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Russell Rockport. This is
Rowan Darkthorn, and we will see you between the sheets.
Stay naughty.
Don't be left out. Hit that subscribe, that follow, that like, ring the bell, whatever it takes to join us in the dark.
And you can come sit by me. I have all the cookies.